how to say this eloquently, but I'm going to try. You can be against the ICE operations in Minnesota. You can be against them harboring a multi-generational pedophile ring. You can be against them infringing on our First Amendment right to criticize a foreign nation, against the recently approved PFA forever chemical pesticides that are being sprayed all over our crops and running into our water supply. You can be against Palantir putting in surveillance systems to track our every move under the guise of national security while still not being a liberal. You can be all of those things and you can still be against an open border leading to massive influx of fentanyl and criminal activity, mandated mRNA vaccines that now come with black box warnings, deplatforming dissenting voices like doctors and scientists who came out against the mRNA COVID vaccine, masking our children, PFA pesticides that were approved under the Biden administration, dismantling the definition of a woman, sterilizing children under the guise of mental health, allowing men in women's sports tens of billions of dollars to fund the Ukraine-Russia war. So while the left-wing politicians pit you against the right-wing politicians pit you against the left, it is important to note that all of these politicians, whether they're yelling about national sovereignty, security, safety, compassion, humanity, 153 Democrats and 188 Republicans voted yes to send $3.3 billion more to fund Israel's war on Palestine, where 72,000 people have died, many of those being women and children. And these are the numbers being sent out by the American media. So we know that those metrics are on the low end. On top of that, this bill blocks aid to refugees. Charlie Kirk, 1 month before he died, although most of these videos have been scrubbed from the internet, admits that Israel is attempting to ethnically cleanse Gaza.
The way I say this, the Israeli government has a mandate they're going to try to ethnically cleanse Gaza.
And that's insane. She's right about that. Whether it's left or right, their interest is not our interest. Their interest is their own interest. So you need to figure out who exactly has their interest. And you're starting to find out that if you follow the money, you'll see exactly where their interest lies, because they have a duty to do if somebody's giving you a certain amount of money. So lobbying should be removed from politics, period, especially when it comes to on a presidential level, because there's no reason why a group of people could give you some money and then that should affect the 300 plus million people in America. How does that make sense?
I mean, I don't use that term lightly, okay?
We're talking about 72,000 human beings. So the media wants you to feel isolated and extremists want you to pick a side, but the numbers tell a different story, with 48% of Americans now identifying as independent. Half of the country saying, we're done. I'm done with the tribalism. I'm done with the lies. Both sides use different flavors of fear and emotional manipulation to accomplish the same goal.
100%. They're on the same side. The only problem with that is identify as an independent, they don't mean anything, because it's just human nature. Whether it's a Democrat, whether it's a Republican, whether it's somebody that runs as an independent, it doesn't matter. All that doesn't matter. The problem is the system. In order to change anything that we have going on, we have to change the system. And that system is basically saying that people can lobby and get whatever that small group wants over the majority of people. If you remove lobbying and you remove penalties, you start putting in penalties for people working for or having interests of people that's not the American people. Every single decision they make should benefit the American people and the American people only. After that happens, after the American people are set, then the American people can vote on whoever they will like outside the American things in order to, after that, the American people can vote on wherever else they would like their money to be sent. They can find out exactly who they want to give their money to, because it is a democracy, right? So why are we sending money to places where the majority of people, the hundreds and hundreds of millions of people that live in America, don't say, yes, we should take our money and send it over there? The reason why they don't look for your vote to do that, because you'll never say that, because here is still not good.
over governance. You can use the contact form on your senator's website to voice your opinion as a constituent. These people work for us. We just can't believe the lie that voting independent or third party is throwing our vote into the wind when 48% of America is identifying as an independent.
Her solution is basically go back to the same system that's not doing good for you. You'll never be able to overcome that system. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to overcome a system that they created. They're going to just make sure it benefits them. It don't matter how much you yell and scream. So people are starting to become these toddlers that I don't like it and I don't want it. Who cares? Nobody cares. You're going to do exactly what we want you to do at the end of the day. They have to feed you the illusion of democracy because most people, most of the things that we go through, we don't vote on. Like we have no idea. We vote for the people that's controlled by other people. Whoop-de-doo. Does that make sense? Even if the votes were 100% right and the people actually sat there and circled that bubble, filled in that bubble and sent in their ballots and say, you know what? This is who I voted for. This is what I wanted. The people that you voted for is still controlled by other interests. So that doesn't matter. There's no reason why we have a natural disaster and the national disaster funds don't have no money for them. How does that make sense? We voted for that when California was on fire and they couldn't get aid and they ain't have no waters in their pumps. We voted for that. If you ask any American, all the Americans around the whole entire United States, and you say, do you think California should have water in their pumps at all times, being that it's a fire hazard over there? Do you think Americans would be like, nah? Do you think people from California would be like, nah, we should do something else with that money? So therefore, the things that's helping the people, us, and you pay your money for you to be helped, you can't even be helped. And they try to give you the illusion that it's the people, the democracy that we have. And we voted for this. I can guarantee you the majority of things that happen in America, we didn't vote for. We looked at it like, I don't really like that. They give you the illusion of nonsense to make you think that you live in a democracy.
What did I tell you they're going to do to TikTok? This is proof of censorship. It's me saying I love Israel, I love Trump, I love Zionism, I love Epstein, and I love ICE. You can't see at the bottom. What are all these missing messages? Oh, wouldn't you know? You can't say you hate Israel, you can't say you hate Trump, you can't say you hate Zionism, you can't say you hate Epstein, and you can't say you hate ICE. This is exactly what I explained to you guys. They bought TikTok. They gave its control to Zionist billionaire and MAGA oligarch Larry Ellison so he'd censor these things on behalf of Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, which he's both allies with. He loves the state of Israel and he loves techno-fascism in the United States. This is exactly why hundreds of thousands of people are fleeing TikTok to join us on Upscroll.
The only thing about that, it could just be the word hate. So if he really wanted to verify that, he would have had to say, I hate flowers. I hate baking. He would have to say something like that so we can verify it's not the word, the hate that they're taking out and they want to just monitor because you don't want to push that out. Yeah, he should have did that. That would have been a better way to prove a point. But who knows?